Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on this bright and sunny Monday morning to look into the stars with us. My name is Martha Harris, and I'm the Vice President of the Board of Directors of the North Museum. And on behalf of the entire board, with Rick Seavey, our President, we're delighted to welcome you to today, which is really the beginning of the next 60 years of the North Museum of Natural History and Science. We've got some very exciting announcements to share with you, and we're so grateful for the 60 years of support that the Lancaster community has given this museum. Lancaster newspapers and readers constantly rate this museum as their favorite. So to tell us what's up at the North, I'd like to bring Margie Marino, Executive Director, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. The North Museum just completed its 60th anniversary year, and since 1953, the North Museum has been Lancaster County's favorite family destination for scientific discovery. Beyond being a place just for your kids, though, the museum in recent years has been on the forefront of nurturing the next generation of scientific thinkers. The management of Lancaster's premier regional science fair, coordination of an exceptional STEM career outreach program in schools called What in the World, partnering with museums nationally to create innovative programming utilizing local scientists, and introducing complex topics to young learners put the museum on the forefront of exciting new ideas for informal learning. But who would know that by walking into the door of this quaint museum full of curious stuff? For more than a year, our energetic board of directors, staff, and community leaders have been planning to revolutionize the museum to inspire the next generation of scientists and critical thinkers. Our redesign of our planetarium with the most up-to-date technology was at the core of our thinking. Working with local firm Architects and a California company called West Office Exhibition Design, we built on this initial thinking to create a new experience for our visitors that we feel will honor what the museum has been to the community, make improvements to the functionality of the museum, and meet the expectations of a new generation. Today we are announcing a $3.5 million campaign to renovate the museum and reinvent the visitor experience. I would like to present to you this morning some of the highlights of changes that you will soon see in the museum. As I mentioned, the centerpiece is a new full-dome digital theater. This theater will do everything a planetarium does, but much, much more. Featured programs will go beyond astronomy to include all of the sciences, providing local audiences with a total immersive experience with the highest quality crisp image and clear and sparkling sound. The most dramatic of all of our efforts, the old concrete planetarium dome will be demolished. It's a big deal. And in its place will be a new seamless digital system with software that will provide the museum with the capability to illuminate current scientific events in ways that are exciting and memorable. The nano-seam dome creates a nearly invisible surface for the projection and does not interfere with the experience. The dome will tilt slightly towards the front of the theater. The museum will retain its recent purchase of portable seating, which you're all seeing in our lovely seating, that will allow flexible options for utilization of the theater. So it could be an arena, it could be a dinner place, or surround seating, or no seating at all, for dancing, playing, or even an overnight sleep-in. The old star ball is gone, and in its place will be a cove-mounted system that provides ease of use from one station and remote access, so some fortunate young people may even be able to explore the universe on their own. Immersive environments have been shown to intensify the experience for young learners and spark their imagination. Imagine the fun of dancing under the stars, no matter what the weather, or landing in the Galapagos Islands after a journey around the world, or even living under the sea. For groups of 130 or less, the new theater will provide a stunning backdrop to a themed dinner, a special environment for lectures and discussion, or a unique place for an employee or club event. Like all renovation projects, the rebuild of our planetarium will affect everything else. I think those of you who've done some home renovation know what I'm talking about. So everything on our main floor will change. The Nature Explorer Gallery will replace the Discovery Room and will provide another wonderful space for early childhood programming while displaying more of our collections. A local emphasis will prepare residents for local forays into nature and give tourists a snapshot of the beauty that is Lancaster County. It will bring the outdoors indoors. The current Dinosaur Hall will be relocated near the Nature Explorer Gallery with additional fun interactive exhibits for our youngest visitors. The temporary exhibition gallery that now has the race exhibit in it will be relocated toward the front of the museum so visitors can immediately know what's new at the museum. Just like this wonderful race exhibit we have now, we'll continue to bring new topics to the museum through temporary exhibits and programs that we'll create ourselves right here at the museum or bring in from other well-established vendors. The new expanded lobby will include ADA restroom, a larger gift shop, and will be organized to provide convenient access through new point-of-sale systems. And a separate space lobby will make it easier for visitors to use the planetarium and to allow the theater to stay open when the remainder of the museum is closed. So that offers us a lot of options for doing things in the evening. We're estimating that our construction of these changes will take approximately 3 months. Some people laugh when I say that. I don't know if that's true.
3 years.
The exhibit race will remain until the end of September, but during the month of September, you're going to see a lot of shifting around of stuff around this museum. And we'll clear the main floor then to prepare for the construction that will begin in October. This is a quiet time for most museums, so it's the best time to do this construction. Staff and volunteers have been asked to bring their sense of adventure to a temporary move. The public will be able to continue to visit us at a small site located near Prince and Chestnut Streets. This is the former Lancaster Arts site that's in the Pennsylvania College of Arts Art and Design facility. So we'll have a small public presence there. And then some of our staff will be moving to the Candy Factory. Some of you are familiar with that. It's cooperative education, or cooperative business space that's downtown. So we're moving into the city, albeit temporary. But it will give us an opportunity to do some great programming for First Fridays and to be a part of the adventure of being downtown. The project has been funded to date by a broad range of public and private sources that you'll be hearing about shortly. Please join me in thanking them today for all of their visionary leadership and for ushering in this new era of science education in Lancaster. I would also like to say that none of this would have been possible without the cooperation and support of Franklin and Marshall College and the City of Lancaster. Alan Caniglia is here from Franklin and Marshall College. Thank you very much, Alan. And we also have Randy Patterson who's going to say a few words this morning from the city. We also have Mary Ann Murata and Connie King from MM Architects. I'd like to take a phrase with hands. I've got the people that know who they are. If you have questions. And they've been very wonderful to work with. So, anyway, thank you very, very much for being here today and helping us celebrate this milestone. And I'm going to hand it off to the next person.
Thank you, Margie. You can see there's a lot that's going to be happening very shortly, and None of this would have been possible without significant public and private funding. Senator Smucker, who unfortunately cannot be with us today, was instrumental in securing a $750,000 RCAP grant, it's a reimbursable grant from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania through its Department of Community and Economic Development. He worked collaboratively and in partnership with State Representative Mike Sterla, Lancaster's Democratic representative, and we're delighted that Representative Sterla is with us today to tell us about state funding.
Thanks, I'll be brief. Years ago, I was on the board of the North Museum, and after a long tenure of service there, I said, you know, I really have to get off. I'm having a hard time making those 7:30 in the morning board meetings. And they said, we're not going to let you off. You provide funding from the state. And I said, how about if I tell you I won't provide funding unless you let me on the board? But I've always been a supporter of the North Museum and the science and technology aspect of what they do for this community. The eyes that they open to young children and to their families, their entire families, I think is incredible. And so it's really good to be part of watching this evolve here and get to the point where we're going to see a new and enlivened North Museum. So thanks.
Thank you for applauding him, because Mike has been one of the longest supporters and really wrote the original authorization language that ultimately resulted in the current RCAP. And to tell us more about the partnership with the City of Lancaster, we're delighted to have the city's Director of Economic Development, Randy Patterson, with us.
Good morning. Thank you. It's interesting. I celebrate my 60th anniversary as well this year, so I think we both aged quite well, but we always can use some renovation and reinvent. So I appreciate having me here today to do that. I've never seen my name in the stars either, so that's always the city has always focused in the last 9 years on arts and culture, but a piece of arts and culture is also science. And you've all heard the acronym of STEM and how important that is in today's society. And the one thing I've always liked about the North Museum, loved about it, is its focus on the children. Incorporating that knowledge of science and technology in kids' minds at an early age is really important to generate that long-term interest. We often have challenges today in our school districts of meeting curriculum and providing that, and the North Museum is such an important piece of that. And while it's not downtown, it's still in the city of Lancaster, and it's an important piece of that arts and culture effort that we continue to grow here. Museums have a challenging time in today's decade, and it's important to try to support them as much as we can. So while the city can't provide financial support, we can provide administrative support. And the RCAP grant is actually a pass-through grant. The city was required to be the applicant for that grant. And Carrie Schramm, our staff, will work very closely with Margie and her staff in administering that grant and providing the state with all the information that they need. So congratulations. I know this has been a long time coming. I think we've been having conversations about the North Museum ever since Mayor Gray came into office. I'm also here on his behalf today. He's with the Pennsylvania League of Cities and League of Municipalities this week, so he couldn't be here today, but if he was, I'm sure he would say congratulations, happy birthday. We look forward to 60 more years of having a North Museum in the city of Lancaster. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Randy, and thank you to your staff who make managing an RCAP seem seamless. So let's share more with us about the seamless STEM that's coming into the North Museum. I'd like to call Jonathan Shaw to the podium. John is the CEO of Spitz Incorporated, a company you may not have ever heard of, but they're based in Chadsport, Pennsylvania, and they're the world's leading manufacturer of dome and planetarium equipment. We're delighted to have John with us.
Thank you. Well, it's a thrill to be here today. And as you know, I'm president of Spitz, and we're a long-standing Pennsylvania company that was started in 1946 with its roots as the first planetarium company in the U.S. We're now a technology manufacturing company that has a worldwide reach. Our association with the North Museum goes back a long way. In 1968, we put in a planetarium instrument known as an A4RPY. We don't use those kind of names anymore. I feel like saying LMNOP. And I can recall being here a number of years ago when they were first thinking about doing something new. During that time, the planetarium industry has changed quite a bit due to the forward march of technology. Part of the vision of the museum is the planetarium upgrade. So consequently, the North Museum will be retrofitted with the best teaching planetarium in the industry. It's not your father's planetarium. It's a high-resolution, bright video system that will be projected on a state-of-the-art projection dome known as a nanoscene dome. The planetarium instrument itself is known as the SiDome Touch XD. It will project from beneath the dome surface, thereby removing the instrument from the center of the room. The image will be projected at a resolution of 2,560 by 2,560 pixels with a high brightness onto the screen and controlled from the console or anywhere in the room using a one-of-a-kind device known as a SiTouch controller. Think of it as a mouse of sorts used to teach interactively with the dome as a giant desktop. The projection dome will be installed has become the industry gold standard. It will be a uniform, optically correct, acoustically transparent surface. It will have no seams to distract from the intended programming. In addition, sound will be transmitted through the screen itself. The combination of the SiDome and the nanoscene dome is an impressive set of tools for the educator. So why teach in a dome? First, the dome environment by itself provides a unique setting that gives the audience something different in terms of what they expect to happen. The key to success we find in the industries that we're in is to set a level of expectation and then exceed it. It happens in planetariums, it happens in theme park rides, it happens in many different dome environments. It can be used as an interactive device. It can be used as a full dome theater. It can be used as a backdrop for many different environments, whether it be dining or dancing, as Martha said. Domes are an immersive environment that provide three elements. One, by definition, they're truly immersive, so the audience is treated to a sense of presence unavailable by a flat screen. Two, they can provide a sense of motion, which only an immersive environment can do, as you may know from being in theme park rides or perhaps military simulators. And finally, it provides a lot of real estate for displaying information. So what do we mean by the Spitz tagline, teach bigger? The entire SiDome system is designed around education, not technology. It is our intention to provide the tools to the educator to facilitate their mission. But make no doubt about it, this is the highest technology available in the industry. Curriculum is available as part of a continuum that goes from desktop to the classroom to the dome theater. There are subjects you can teach in a dome that cannot be taught in any other way. Multiple disciplines beyond astronomy can be taught in a dome, and this includes earth sciences, meteorology, and historical timelines. So finally, using a multitude of tools in the immersive environment, we can transport students to other worlds, make interactive teaching with the presenter, provide interactive teaching, provide education-rich content, and leave a positive, lasting impression. Studies show that different environments yield different retention rates for students in immersive theater, better retention, and better audience participation because of the immersive environment. So we, Spitz, as a long-standing company, we look forward to a long and mutually beneficial relationship with the North Museum and are excited for this project and what it will mean to the students, the museum, and the region. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for your remarks and for sharing an excellent video with us. I think it really gives a snapshot and overview of the depth of software programming and educational tools that the North Museum will be getting and that we'll be sharing with the whole community. Well, none of this would be possible without strong leadership. You've heard from Martin Marino, hear from Rick Seavey, board president. But today I'd like to introduce you to our campaign co-chairs, Paul Ware and Carrie Hill, without whose dedication, insight, and leadership, we wouldn't be at the brink of these great new discoveries and fundraising opportunities for the museum. So with that, I'd like to invite Paul Ware to come and tell us more about the capital campaign.
Thank you, Martha. I think two things encouraged me to take this role. The first of which is to be able to work with Ms. Hill, who's been a long-time friend and a leader in the community. So when I heard that Carrie was going to be part of the team, I signed right on. The other thing was that I think this is really a wonderful thing for the community. North Museum certainly is for the Lancaster area and far beyond. And when we go back to 1953, I believe the founding year when Franklin Marshall College developed as part of the campus and created the North Museum, and that happens to be my alma mater. I remember taking an art history class here many years ago, and I wore my tie here today. You've heard about the changes that are coming, and you've seen the numbers that some 35,000 plus people come and benefit from this all throughout central Pennsylvania and beyond. And one of the things that I'm very proud of, the North Museum works collaboratively with a number of other institutions, certainly Franklin Marshall, Elizabethtown, the Science Museum, Conservancy, and other groups. The big focus of this is STEM, and that's science, technology, engineering, and math, in case anybody forgets. And that's a very important field today for the United States. We've been slipping in our leadership worldwide in the technology fields. That's been in the news for a number of years. So we're trying to reactivate that. That's why we need a project like this. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and other groups are trying to promote that to get girls and boys interested in the sciences so the United States can come back into its leadership on the world stage. Local impact, as many of us know, Lancaster County has a long history of manufacturing and sciences. To go on eBay, you'll find Hamilton watches and clocks are highly desirable and bring great prices. Well, they were made here to exacting standards some period of time ago. And even the first kind of digital watch was made here, as some of you know. Rolex has brought its plant here. We are a center, and we can't forget our heritage, so I'm really hoping that the STEM part of the educational program here at North Museum will help revise our long history. The other thing I'm impressed with is the prudence by which this has been thought through. This isn't necessarily about building a building that's never going to change for another 100 years. This is about bringing in things into the building which can be adapted and upgraded. You heard John talk about the kind of technologies that can be projected. It's interesting, you can go from the heavens to way down underground and see things. What we'll be able to talk about here is going to be really amazing. But like everything in the digital world, it's portable. We'll be able to tie the system in around the world with other programs, bring programs in, programs out. So everything in this campaign has had a focus on being not forever permanent, but to be portable, flexible, and changeable. Every 10 years, science change. I'll put my wallet on the table and say that all of us that went through science courses in high school, very little of that is the same. I mean, we still go around the sun, that part's but there's so much more that's changed, and we've got to upgrade all of that. So I really like the idea that what we're doing now will allow us, with software upgrades and things, to be able to change that. So I think this is a great thing for Lancaster and South Central Pennsylvania. and I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you very much, Martha.
Well, as Paul said, his aide-de-camp in this effort is Carrie Hill. It's my deep honor to welcome her to the podium to tell us about a few bright stars.
Thank you. And Paul, thank you very much. Those were very kind words, and I throw them right back at you. And John, I must say, even though I can't see you, that I have had the privilege of going down to Spitz and sitting under their dome, where what you saw up here was all over the entire dome. And you really kind of have to hold on to the sides of your chair because you're not quite sure where you're going to end up. But it's an exciting journey and an educational one, so thank you for the brilliance of Spitz. The North Region's original Star Ball was installed in 1953. 1953. That was the year the Yankees beat the Brooklyn Dodgers to win the World Series. Dwight D. Eisenhower was inaugurated as president. The average home cost $17,000. And the #1 movie was From Here to Eternity. Now, I'm pretty sure that From Here to Eternity was not meant to describe how long any Star Ball was supposed to last. But we are delighted that our Star Ball has had a new life down at TELUS 360. So who knows how long it'll go on. What a great run those Star Balls had, and what a treasure they were for our community. It is now time to move on. As a community, we have the honor and the duty to reinvent and renew the North Museum. When we succeed, we will be making a long-term gift to our children, our families, our schools, other nonprofits, and those who visit Lancaster. Several months ago, we started our $3.5 million capital campaign to make all you have heard about and seen today a reality. The campaign is called We're Looking for a Few Bright Stars, because we are. Donors who are willing to be bright stars can make the new North Museum a reality that will be a cutting-edge and sustainable part of our community for many years to come. Paul Ware and I, as co-chairs of the capital campaign, are thrilled to announce that as of today, we have already received 42 gifts, grants, and pledges totaling $2,355,033. Thank you. That's 2/3 of our campaign goal. That's just really exciting. We will continue our fundraising efforts by seeking multi-year gift commitments from individuals, families, businesses, service groups, and foundations all over our county. We anticipate that our campaign will conclude by the end of the first quarter of 2015. To those members of the campaign steering committee, the campaign communications, corporate, and planned giving committees, and the board, I say thank you for your service. To Franklin and Marshall College for its considerable investment in this project, I say thank you for partnering with us to improve our visitors' experience. To our elected officials who help us secure vital state capital dollars, and to our early pace-setting private donors, I say thank you for your important leadership and for getting us started in such a strong way. And to those of you who will consider a gift in the near future, I say please join us in making this a reality. A reinvented and renewed North Museum will enrich our lives and the lives of generations to come. Your gift matters and will be used wisely. I also would like to say thank you to Martha for your leadership and for hosting us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. And our cleanup hitter today is Rick Seavey, with whom none of this would be possible without his keen leadership and unwavering commitment to the North Museum. Thank you.
So I became a first-time job, full-time job. And in closing, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the North Museum of Natural History, I'd like to thank everyone from the Greater Lancaster community for your support for this campaign. And personally, I would like to thank Paul and Carrie for their leadership and enthusiasm for this project over there in the darkness. All of us here at the museum are thrilled and honored by your involvement. It is our community's strong support of science and STEM education that is making this campaign possible. Our old planetarium has inspired many over the past 60 years, being a touchstone for science education. And now, with your generosity, we'll not only continue our mission, we'll strengthen it. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. And remember, reach for the stars. Thank you.
This concludes our formal presentation, but a number of the speakers have agreed to stay for interviews. If anyone in the media would like to get a one-on-one interview with either the two campaign co-chairs, with John Shaw from Spitz, perhaps our city and the state representatives. Thank you very much for coming.